So, time to pull out your chainsaws, battle axes, or shotgun, however you want to describe the OS form. As you can tell in my previous videos, Linux and Windows have been the primary platforms I've debated and given merits to. That changed in the last couple of days, and I'll show you why. This is why it has changed in the last couple of days. Yes, that is an Apple logo you're seeing. Apple iBook G4, 1.42 gig, PowerPC, 1 gig of RAM, and a 60 gig hard drive. It is running Leopard 10.57, and the experience that Apple sells, I can understand the reason people like it. Things that I love about OS X: Spotlight, Finder, I actually like better than Explorer. I love how software updates are done. I love how OS X updates are done. The dock is, I've noticed, is a love-hate kind of relationship with some people. Personally, I like a lot that the dock does, not necessarily everything, but I like probably 90% of what the dock does. I like the quick launches. I like the fact that it keeps my favorite applications down at the bottom. And I also love the fact, I love it, that the desktop is not the default place for icons. That I love. Software installation, I like better than Windows, not as good as Linux. Now, that'll catch me flack, and I will try to explain my position on that one. OS X is drag and drop. Drag and drop it where you want it installed. I love that. You know, there's no next, read a bunch of crap, next. You know, it's none of that like Windows. Or you download it, double click the exe, then, you know, it's none of that crap. You download a DMG file, it auto installs, you drag it into the folder you want, call it good, you're done. Not quite as simplified as something like Linux, though. Linux, be it Yum, be it Yast, be it Add Remove, be it Synaptic, find a program you want from the repositories, hit a bunch of checks, tell it to apply, enter your password, enter, downloads, installs, and categorizes it into the right categories, usually into your start menu, your applications menu. That I like. I find that to be the most simplified version and the simplified way of doing things. You download it, install it, forget about it. The Mac has almost there, almost. But that's a personal preference for someone who uses Linux on a more regular basis. As far as software that I do like, my favorite piece of software I have found is actually iMovie. I've used a lot of video editing software in my time. I've used Premiere Pro, I've used Premiere Elements, I've used, on the Windows side, I've even gotten down and dirty with Windows Movie Maker. And on the Linux side, I've used Kino, I've used Kdenlive, I've used Open Movie Editor, I've used Cinderella. You know, all those programs are good, but they just seem to be missing one particular aspect. And you know, those programs are hard to say what that particular aspect is. iMovie, it's great when it comes with the OS, and I can place it along a $120 program or so of something like Premiere Elements. That is a good program. Not something that is just a tack on saying, oh yeah, we have one too, like Movie Maker is. Now, that's my take on my favorite application. My least favorite application, and this will catch me flack, but this has always been a program I have not preferred, I have not used, but that is just me, is iTunes. There's just something about it. I don't know, I can't nail down one specific issue I have with iTunes. I will say that I do like the integration with the iTunes Store, don't get me wrong. But there's something about iTunes I just really don't care for. As far as my preferred music applications, I either use Songbird or I use Amrox. Amrox I even run on Windows using the KDE for Windows. So Amrox tends to be my preferred one. I just find I don't think iTunes is changeable and whatnot as something like Songbird with its add-ons or Amrox by script installation. But iTunes is, I will not say is a bad program, it's just not my preferred program and nothing that I care to use. But that's personal preference as far as music players and whatnot are concerned. So, if I had to rate OS X next to Windows, there is no rate. Just with this computer alone, came with Microsoft Office for OS X. And I wanted to about gag and vomit when I saw the way it would try to integrate a Microsoft-based product with OS X. It's clunky. And for the life of me, I don't understand the reason this is the standard Office program that people live or die by. Yeah, there are some features and functions that are in it that are great, whatever. 90% of the people don't need to go and spend $200 on a damn Office suite when you can go and download Lotus Symphony, you can go and download OpenOffice or NeoOffice, which I will be downloading NeoOffice in replacement of Microsoft Office on this particular machine. Just my thoughts on it, because I find the integration of Office into OS X abysmally bad. Comparing OS to OS to OS, key points to Linux is the customization of it. OS X, it's the experience, the hardware and software experience. Windows is just there because everybody else has to use it. Apparently, that seems to be the thought process. Now you can talk about Windows has more. Won't get into that. I'll get into that in another video. OS X on this particular machine, in my experience of using it so far, has been nothing but positive. And I'm glad to see Apple is innovating. I'm glad to see Apple is trying different things. My thoughts on it, guys. Let's hear what you guys have to say.